Good day everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be discussing Black Clover chapter 308 titled Yuno Grindle Burial. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. But yeah, spoiler warning before we begin of course. Let's jump into it. If you're new here, consider hitting subscribe, hitting like, and yeah, let's begin. So this chapter is basically, from the title, says a Yuno centric chapter. So the first few pages we start off and we see Finral and Langris dodging and hopping around, avoiding Zenon's attack and trying to be able to land a decisive blow on him to end the battle. But while they're doing this, he says that essentially he's figured out their speed of movement and their directional flow of how they teleport and where they teleport to. However, they managed to get behind him and use one final attack to injure him. They use this spell where they erase like his whole chest part. Langris does it. Of course we know Finral is the one teleporting him around and he's attacking. So both offensive and defensive together. However, when they land this blow, we cut to Yuno, because we know he was slapped around and into a big old castle book room kinda, and we see him getting up from his blow and he's wondering how long he's been unconscious, if it's a few seconds or a few minutes. And he awakes, and when he awakes he sees Finral and Langris basically defeated. Zenon has Finral in the air on his spiky tail, and he tells them even that special magic to erase everything could not erase a devil's heart. And we see Yuno is a bit shocked, a bit worried, and he's beating himself up because he says, did I make the wrong choice? Nothing worked. I was supposed to be royalty. I was supposed to be this strong person. Everybody's dependent on me. And he's down. And while he's down and he's berating himself, he remembers Asta and he says he made a promise to Asta. And, basically he is going to stand up and fight, and this is not all that he is. He's stronger, and while he's getting up we see the place around him gets white and this figure appears in front of him. But we don't know who this figure is. But the figure appears in front of him and he says, I am you, but you have your own strength as well. And his eyes widen, and then we see a spade grimoire appears in front of Yuno, and it lights up the entire room. And people from outside see what's going on. We see Lick's face, Lick's face, the elf. You all should know him by now. We see him, and a bright light shines down, and we see one of Yuno's retainers saying, how he knew it, Master Yuno is, and Yuno just starts speaking and he says, I will save my captain, I will save the others, I'm going to save the kingdom, I'm going to become Wizard King. And he pulls himself up and he stands up, and we get this cool shot of him standing injured with his grimoire on one side, his spade grimoire on one side, his hand is open and bell is rising in his hand, and he says, basically he says, you're going to go down, I'm going to take you down. And the chapter ends there, and that's where we get the title of the chapter on the last page, Yuno Grin Burial. Hopefully pronounced that correctly. And the chapter ends there. So Yuno essentially got a power up. He's now dual wielding, in a sense, like how Asta dual wields his sword. Yuno is now dual wielding with two grimoires. That's pretty dope. So again, basic plot of the chapter, Yuno-centric, Yuno gets a power up. Now, I'm wondering if his new grimoire is actually light also, like licked, or if it's something else. It seems to be giving off the vibe of light, but we gotta wait to see. So maybe next week we'll get to see that. And I'm interested to see how he combines them together to attack. We know there are mages who can use two magics, because we've seen it with the Diamond Kingdom with Mars, and the others with the hybrid grimoires, where like half of it was one color and half was the other color, and it was kind of stitched together. So we know it's possible, but the difference here is Yuno actually possesses its own two grimoires, and they're not just stitched together from someone else's. It's a whole grimoire. So does that mean you can get a grimoire from each nation? Because there's four. There's heart, spade, club, and diamond. So does that mean if you're worthy enough, you can get one from all four and then have like 4 sets of magic? That would be pretty dope. That would be pretty cool. But we have to wait and see what happens with that. Of course, it seems like Black Clover is also ending soon. At least that's what it looks like, unless there's a bigger story after this. But yeah, this was a really good chapter. I liked that Yuno's power up was unique in the sense because he's from this kingdom, so he was able to get something from this kingdom itself to power him up. But yeah, quick little review. Good chapter. I enjoyed it. And I hope to see you all again for next week's chapter. Also, I'll be doing a Q&A video maybe weekend, so if you're seeing this, please send in questions for me to answer and collecting questions. Also, check out this really dope shirt. Just thought I'd show it off. Let's drink and make bad choices. That being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all for the next one. Bye.